And make sure you watch the end to find out why this already excellent value bike is going to be even more of a bargain and an even better performance package thanks to my feedback. My name's Guy Kesterman. I've been a professional bike and kit tester for nearly 28 years. And today, I'm riding the brand new Voodoo Canzo. 1,400 quid's worth, 140mm travel, 29er. You can get from Halfords and treads. To keep things interesting, I'm out with the Sunday morning crew and anything from Carbon Canyons and Santa Cruzes and the Forbidden, where the rear shock costs nearly as much as this bike, and a nice long modern Geo privateer as well. So let's see how we get on. And this is really the kind of natural home of this bike, with 140mm travel, 21/9er wheels, 4-caster Maxxis tyres, which is kind of like the down country, reasonably grippy but fast rolling. It's not got a big tough set of tyres on it for enduro riding. And I mean, it is heavy. Let's get that fact out of the way straight away. She's over 16 kilos before you even put pedals on, so, and I'm guessing a lot of that is in the fork up front because it's a non-adjustable coil sprung RockShox fork. So that's obviously a bit of a cost saving measure, but you know, coil fork is always going to add a lot of weight. Oh, thanks very much indeed, thank you. Well, so far it's been pretty smooth, and you do get rebound damping, so you've got control of how much pogo you're getting from the front fork. Oh, and the other thing I need to point out straight away, I made the decision to bring it in at 14. I've chatted to him quite a lot before getting the bike for test, and I deliberately made the decision to go without a dropper post as standard and keep it to 1,400 quid. And then at point of sale, you can add a dropper. I think it's for 100 quid. I mean, it's fully routed, ready for an internal dropper. It's semi-internal routing, so goes into the down tube, all your brake and rear mech controls, and then pops out just below the bottle mount. But I reckon on the previous Canzo, a lot of people were just riding around with a fixed post anyway, so you can fit a dropper if you want, but I'm running it true to spec without a dropper. And I've kept it tubed as well, which I might regret by the time we hit Gully or any of the other rocky tracks up on Oakley Moor, because even though I'm running fairly high pressures, 20-25 psi, I'm obviously going to have to nurse it slightly through the more geologically eventful sections. Anyway, techie climb coming up, wish me luck. Right, in theory, this thoroughly modern 77.5 degree seat angle is going to be a help here. Ah, no. Single hand dab. These aren't the grippiest. Ah, oh, damn it. These aren't the grippiest compound or forecast you can get. That's annoying though. That was just a line mistake, not a voodoo mistake. Right, this is the third time I'm going to try and get up here. I'm telling you about the 77.5 degree progressive seat angle, and hopefully this time I won't have to make an excuse about that slippery forecaster. Come on, hand dab. Can I get it going from here? Another hand grab. Does anybody watch this nonsense? Idiot against incline. Ah, that'll do. But to be fair, not bad. And as you can see, that seat angle, meaning it's actually a pretty good pedalling position on there. But that rear tyre is pretty full in these. I should point out nobody else got up that last bit either.
Yeah.
But less extreme trench stuff where the tyres have a fighting chance. That seat angle definitely helps putting that WT Volt saddle in the right place. And this Shimano Q's. Gearing. Also, really clean shifting. Really good. The only reason I was holding my breath there is because I suddenly remembered I haven't got a dropper. The little left-hand thumb went for the button push, and of course, it's just fresh air and a fixed post, isn't it? So, just gonna have to channel my inner XC rider and keep my haunches hovering above the high saddle. One more droppy bits there. Rear end actually flowing very nicely. Morning, thanks very much. Cheers. And it's a proper 4-bar as well. So, chainstay pivot. Feels like relatively low anti-squat. Little bit of pedal bob, but then no kickback when it takes a slap. And just kind of nice balanced flow to it, to be fair. Just set it up on sag. No obvious vices so far, definitely. And these hard compound forecasters are definitely rolling nice and fast. Bikes behind, please. Thanks very much indeed. Cheers. Yeah, so for a bit of single track chase and pace, set up really nicely. 65-degree head angle, all right. Is a nice balance, sort of flatter rather than super gravity terrain as well. So all in all, nicely dialed in all round the chassis so far. Right, there's the first little manual dropper, get left behind moment. But definitely need the seat out of the way for this section. It did feel a bit tappy just coming down the rocky road back there, so as you'd expect, it's a basic shock and fork, but feels alright across the mid-speed stuff. We'll just have to see how it feels on the high-speed stuff. And also, foolishly, I haven't bedded the brakes in yet either. So, gonna have to see what heat I can get into them down gully, while also protecting my tyres. The Geo certainly feels good. 45mm stem, 70-80mm bar. You know, it's a proper modern shaped mountain bike. And it's putting its wheels in the right place accordingly. Right, here we go. There you go. See, you can spend 2.5 times as much on the bike, get a carbon spectral, then not put a crud guard on it, get mud in your eye, and you're already one place behind the Canzo. Come on. Hey, not bad. Not bad so far. In fact, very, very good. Bit of a clunk there on bottle. Yeah, felt that rear rim. Bit of a rimmer there. I mean, that's a forbidden dreadnought ahead. I pinned it. All the travel. Right, there's another one. Gone down. Yes, it's another eye. See, just by a crud catcher, you'll automatically be faster than 50% of other riders. Come on. Come on, Voodoo Canzo. Let's have it. Come on. Let go of them brakes, they're not doing anything anymore. Oh, definitely maxed out the fork there by the sound of it. Come on. Privateer, the dreadnought to go. Look at them plastic forecasters rolling. Forget that sticky mullet mess up front. We're on them. Switching to guns, Maverick. Ah, yes. I should probably point out at this point that Halfords haven't actually paid those lads up front to go make this bike look this good. It's doing it. All of its own accord. Yes. Whoa. He's only got what forks that, Ollie? 38 factory. Of course he's struggling, poor little lamb. Come on. Woo. I'm not being, I mean, I love an underdog bike, but this is probably one of the better runs I've done down here recently, if you watch my video footage. Yes!
Some choice lines then,
Voodoo Canzo.
Nice.
Oh, it's quite a smell of...
Did you all get mud in the eye?
Yeah.
A massive clod right and literally I rolled in. I can't see, I need to stop right now. Go up and do that again.
And this Shimano Q's is only 10 speed. You're still getting a 48 tooth. And to be honest, 48's a really good cog. Because it keeps you going fast enough. It don't just bump to a halt immediately you hit a step up or something. So most of my climbing fails come from going full eagle. So that's just not an option on this. As I say, shifting. Yeah, plastic rapid fire over there. But really clean. Perfectly nice. And again, those slightly plasticky forecasters giving a nice efficient roll up the hill like they did on that flat section on the descent. You could see me easily rolling up to the back wheel of Ollie and Pacey because they're running proper sticky tyres. We'll see how that comes to bite me on the arse down, babe, coming up next though. And the fact you've got through axle chain set makes winching the bulk of this Canzo up a bit easier than a really heavy flexi square taper crank and BB setup. Thanks very much. I must remember to drop the seat post though. Don't just wave my thumb in fresh air. Right, here we go again. Oh, one thing, don't think I mentioned, reach 478 on this large. Comes in 3 sizes, small, medium, large. BB drop, I think, is in the manner of 30 odd mil. Back end 4 through 5, I do know that. I have to say, that's one thing Ryan just asked me, is how quiet it was. I said I didn't really notice because I was making too much noise myself, but I have to say, she's gravy. Bit of a slug front wheel slip there. Unsurprisingly, like you say, this is kind of a borderline XC tyre, really. Well, I have to say, some little janky hits. This coil foot, not too much there. Need to let it flow a bit more. Come on, guys. Come on. Hang in there. Pedals in. I have to say, taking those big single hits pretty well. I would say overall spring rate, which seems sort of better suited to someone around 90 kilos. Sorry, just need, go on around, you drop in, I just need my camera anyway. Probably around 90 kilos to get full travel out of this fort, because there was a fair bit left at the bottom of the gully there. So, see how we're doing down here. Thank you. But rear shock seems spot on, nudging nicely to the end of the stroke on it without it obviously blowing my feet up or clunking badly. And that internal cable routing is actually keeping the cables nice and quiet too. And you've even got a UD8 hanger. So, as well as it only being a cheap transmission to replace, if you smack it on some rocks, thanks very much. If you smack it on some rocks, then rear hanger's going to be easy to find.
How was your forecaster in that last section? It was loves it going down there.
Needed a bit of nursing, but she was all right. Right, I'm going to risk giving my face chubbo vision in hyperview by chatting to you while I'm wading along, but as you can see on that last descent, fair way off getting full travel, and there's no way of adjusting air pressure or compression because it's just a fixed coil spring in this basic for RockShox 35. But it feels smooth enough in terms of bushings. It's a through axle, and let's be honest, your average mountain biker is probably closer to 90 kilos than 70 anyway, so probably is about the right spring rate. And the other thing I'd say is it's really kind of refreshing. Oh, hi mate. Oh, why is it when I start talking to camera there's always a steep bit? Oh, another one. Should have kept filming there. Classic example of what happens when what used to be quite a techie, rocky single track climbing descent gets gravelled and people think it's a bike path, start coming down it on hybrids and nearly dying in front of you on a sudden steep bit. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, it's almost like having a suspension single speed. All right, once you've found the rebound that works, there's nothing else you can do. So I'm not sat here worrying about high and low speed compression or rebound compression crossover behaviour or what it might do with an extra air chamber or a bit more or less PSI. Just get on and ride the damn thing. And that's very much the ethos of this Voodoo Canzo, which is proving more and more can do each section I hit. And as you'd hope from a accomplished 4-bar suspension setup, you can just apply the power through the pedals and she humps and bumps up through the rocks. Perfectly acceptable. And as hollow as this might sound, not really feeling the hefty weight of this bike so far, which is a definite surprise. Oh, manual dropper. think it's the fast rolling tyre. All right, thank you. And a healthy dose, you know, of underdog overcompensation, which I know is definitely a thing with me. I love making a cheap or simple bike go well. I'll often overthink. No dropper to sit on, is there? But I'll often overthink a bike with a lot of tech going on, because effectively that's my job. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do the reach down and grab the post thing here, so I guess we're committed to standing up. I would definitely spend that 100 quid on a dropper as standard if you've got it. I think my legs would definitely pay 50 quid each right now. But again, that rear end, maintaining a reasonable balance between grip and stability. Oh, I would have said it at that point. And that's as far as we need to get to. There. Hashtag Voodoo Canzo. I feel a little sick. I'm just going to have a nice little gloat there. I've given him about a minute to get this close, or you wouldn't have even seen him. Bloody kids in hoodies. Come on, come on, walk on. Right, we've got the fork cam on. See how it does down here. Definitely a bit of percussion to be had on this track, lower down. So, see how we go. Way. What have I not really talked about yet? I think I've covered most things off, yeah. Done internal storage, done the fact it's got bottle cage mount. This has been nicely tidied up. Very nice. Way, there we go. You see, it does land fine. Considering I'm only getting like, probably at tops 130. No, actually it's 140 before, can it? So 120 mil trap. Cheers, folks. Thank you. It's actually pretty controlled. Whoa! Not the point to say that. And let's have a Shimano Q's moment. There you go, 10 speeds. So each time you do make a change, it's a bigger gear. God, some people say I can find a positive in every bike, but I think I might have excelled myself there. But it's true, actually, thinking about it. Less speed you have. Right, where were we? To be honest, I think we've covered this basic Canzo off pretty well. So what I really need to tell you about is the fact that most of the issues I've talked about, like dropper post, you know, lower quality fork, that kind of thing, you know, 2-piston rather than 4-piston brakes, are all taken care of on the Canzo Pro, which is another 400 quid, but comes with much better spec as standard, including the 12 speed as well, for 1800 quid. And it's got a really nice fancy paint job. Same frame still, but definitely significantly better equipped, better spec, and therefore better riding bike if you can afford that extra 400 quid. But for a budget bike, I've been very, very impressed by how much this Canzo has let me ride. And like I say, I don't know, I'm almost thinking having less powerful brakes, because they are pretty wooden, not gonna lie, has actually helped me, because I'm a criminal overbreaker in most situations. So not being able to hang it up, and even though the tyres are definitely sliding around in that loam, the fact that the handling's absolutely cock on, yeah, means it's actually cracking bike to drift. Again, the weight means it's not that hoppy and poppy. But as a super controlled 4-bar, really, really impressive. And despite that weight, covers ground well. So there you go, Voodoo Canzo. I'll be honest, I was a little bit afraid of bringing this out with the big boys today, but I have to say the stop go has been fine, and the actual frame and the shock action really, really impressive. So I'd definitely say if you've got the money, upgrade to that Pro. And in fact, I'm gonna try and get that bike off, you know, actually doing a head-to-head ride on them, just to see how much difference that 400 quid does make. But you know, seriously impressed me as this basic Canzo. But it is worth saying that there's another budget full suspension bike of legendary repute in a very similar price point that will be launching very soon, and I've just started riding, so that's definitely going to be a head-to-head that you'll be seeing from me. And yeah, watch this space. If you need a budget full suspension bike, or you've got mates who want a budget full suspension bike, or partners or kids that you want to get into mountain biking, and you don't want to spend a fortune, but you want a bike that's going to give them a really, really good experience, and it's well made enough to last, and has components that'll last, and a frame that's well worth upgrading over time, then it is a very good time to be alive. And as usual, thanks to all my industry sponsors, thanks to my Patreon subscribers who pledge on a monthly basis, and they get early ad-free edits as a thank you, as well as kind of higher level of sort of personal shopper advice from me, which I hope is worth something with 28 years experience. And if you're one of those people, I don't mean to be rude, but if you're one of those people who keeps asking me questions in the comments, if you can spare a bit, you know, come and buy me a cup of tea and a biscuit via Patreon, even if it's just for the month, sort of, you know, because I do spend a lot of time asking comments, and I don't mind doing it, but at some point, you know, if you suddenly find all that behind a paywall, then no, I'm not going to threaten that. I'll still do it, but if you can, it'd be great to see you subscribing on Patreon. But even if you can't afford that, fully understand, especially if you're watching a video on a, you know, on a really well-priced bike, then you don't want to spend extra on a Patreon subscription. So, like is free, subscribe is free, and clicking for notifications is free, and they all make a big difference to when the YouTube does its bean counting and decides what videos to show people. But for now, I've been Guy Kesteven on Guy Kes TV, being thoroughly impressed with a brand new Have a Go Hero Voodoo Canzo. A round of applause for the overachieving underdog, please.
So the big reveal is, if it's not been blindingly obvious already, is that while bikes without a dropper post that you can buy in the stores now will be available for the reduced price of 1,350 quid, if you put a dropper post in your basket for just 50 quid, they will fit it for you for free. So you're getting a bike at the original cost of 1,400 quid, now comes with a dropper post. And according to Halfords, the reasons they've done this is because when they first came up to show me the bikes and a bunch of other bikes that I'll be reviewing on this channel in upcoming months, apparently, although I kind of said that, you know, I understood their reasoning and not everyone wants a dropper and stuff like that, apparently the look on my face was enough to go, yeah, we really should have put a dropper on this to make it a complete package. Now, to be fair, it is a relatively basic one, 150mm travel, and it's got an up and over lever on these first gen replacements, but it'll then be switching to an X-Fusion Manic post, which is a post you'll find on a lot of you know, mid-range bikes, really solid, good quality post with a good quality lever on it as well. And as I said in the captions, we've also chatted a bit more about that. What is a super smooth RockShox 35 coil fork on this bike. And it seems like it's got a progressively sprung coil in there, so they're going to see if you can get a linear coil aftermarket to upgrade that fork for lighter riders, or I guess downgrade almost for lighter riders. But I have to say, it is super plush, but it does, I've had it out to weigh it when I was putting the dropper post in, and yeah, it weighs best part of 2.8 kilos, so if you want to save some weight out of this bike, that's an obvious way to go. But having said that, it is really, really plush, and if you're a heavier rider or just hit stuff hard, then there's absolutely no reason to upgrade that fork. And, you know, it's genuinely supple, smooth, probably more supple than an air fork for this price, and very, you know, it's coil, so you've got less worries about leaking and stuff like that. So what I said at the end of this video on the initial live ride about I'd definitely get the Pro version for 1,800 quid, if you can afford it. With the next batch of bikes now coming as a dropper post standard for 1,400 quid, I don't think there is a rush. I don't think there really is a need. You get a slightly better tyre spec, you get a better rim spec on the 1,800 quid bike still, and you get 12-speed, you know, you get 12-speed gears and you get a 4-pot brakes. But if you don't need those 4-pot brakes and you don't need those slightly grippier tyres, it gets DHF and Dissector. If you're into more of a trail bike, or, you know, you want to keep your 400 quid for kit, for lights, for going to Dovey Bike Park, whatever, then this standard Canzo now is a proper package and an absolute bargain to boot. So, there you go. Quite proud to have had a little bit of input in making this a better bike for everyone who buys it. So, thanks to Halfords for listening.